So, David, you've got a really good story about a business owner who was stuck in their business. They were stuck in the day-to-day. They wanted to take it to the next level. They didn't want to sell because they're still quite young, but they didn't want to have to spend every day there on the operational side of their business.
Yeah.
And a lot of business owners who want to exit their business get stuck for the same reason that this guy did. So tell us Glenn's story. Well, Glenn's name's been changed to protect the innocent, by the way.
Glenn. Okay, Glenn. And
He looks like a Glenn.
Does he? Yeah, he does. And with Harry and I, what we specialise in is helping business owners exit their business within like a 3-year period. But what this particular person wanted to do at that stage was to exit the day-to-day. So still wanted to be in the business, like you say, didn't want to sell it, but wanted to exit the day-to-day. And what was holding the person to the day-to-day was a little bit of a mystery to them. So when we started working, the first place that we went to and I looked at was the organisational structure, because I wanted to figure out
the org chart.
Yeah, who does what. And it was really interesting when we saw, I remember seeing the first time we saw the organisational chart, and we looked at it, and it's like a spider had actually, first of all, walked in some ink, and then it walked across the page, because there were lines of responsibility, and there was just squares and lines all over it. And it was really, really confusing to me, let alone to anybody else that was on there. So we're up to draft 9 at the moment. Draft 9 of redoing the organisational structure. But what we figured out was there's several boxes that we've had to add and slightly change, but there was one pivotal box in the operations box that was not really clearly defined. And there were probably about 3 people, including the owner of the business, that thought that
they were in that box.
That Glenn thought he was in that box, and there were 3 other people that also thought they were in that box.
So there was a box, but no one's name was attached to the box.
Not really, no. No one's name was really attached to it. The box was poorly defined. But what was interesting was so many people thinking that they had input into that box. Guess what was slipping through the cracks?
Any ownership of that box?
Lots of stuff, because it was very easy to turn around to somebody else and go, well, I thought that you, and they'd say, well, I thought that you, and then I thought you, and we'd come back around again. Absolutely. But like I guess I let the cat out of the bag. We're 9 drafts in now. It's completely transformed what's happening inside the organisation. You can almost feel like there was this pressure relief in the business where everyone goes, oh, okay, all right, now I get it. I understand. And we've got a very simple process
So how many people, firstly, are in that box now?
One person.
How many people is that person in the box reporting to?
That person's reporting to one other person.
One other person. Yeah. So that's pretty darn clear.
Very, very clear.
And the people who are reporting to that box are pretty clear too.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
I'm about to sneeze.
Okay, go for it. You ready?
No, it's gone.
Oh, don't you hate that when you get a sneeze and you don't actually get it gone? I'll get it out. So, but what's the change been made? Well, when we first started working with a client, I want to exit this role. I don't want to be in the day-to-day. Been in the business for long enough to say I don't want to be in the day-to-day, and that has now occurred. Able to now really focus on the more holistic view of the business and what's going on. But what was really interesting was it was the rest of the people in the organisation, like I say, they almost breathed a sigh of relief to go, that's better. Things are running smoothly.
Now I know how the business is meant to work.
Yeah. So it might sound like a really simple thing to create an organisational chart. And another way to think about it is whatever your favourite sport is, what's the team structure? What they're about to go out and play. If you're in a team sport, what's the setup of all the players on the pitch? That's the way to think about this. And if you get it right, you're very, very powerful. If you get it wrong, there's gaps, things fall through, and it's just a mess.
It's like a spider walking over.
Spider walking over, absolutely.
So if you want to get a sample org chart, just comment org.
Org?
How do you spell that?
As O?
O-R-G, not O-R-K, or we'll have to ship you an orc. You don't want an orc? You want an org.
They don't like Harry if you get an orc. See ya.